Yeah, it goes everybody, cause today we will play Danganronpa Mauve Chapter 2. Provided to you by Zephyro. Give them a follow for more Danganronpa related stuff like fan translations, other updates and all that stuff. Link is in the description. Let's continue now. Provided to you by Zephyro. Wait, I already said that. Sorry. Let's see where we are now. Anyway, are you going on or not? Hurry up and tell me. Can I go to a creep shop? It seems like a place where only girls hang out. Hey, it's okay. Shinano is going to, so what does that matter? I can't miss the Hope Speak Students Sweet Eating vlog. I'm speechless, seriously. Are you guys talking about creeps in front of me? Especially since she's a world famous baker and all that stuff, but yeah, we all know what happened to her in the previous chapter. I told you I could make something tastier. What does it matter? You said before the creeps are classified as pastries, not bread, and you were so particular about it. Did you forget what I said last time? I'm now the ultimate baker. Of course, I'm not as good as my senior. Yeah, of course. Let's call it a market research. There must be a reason why stores that sell well are like that. You don't have to say that. I was going to go with you anyway. I'm not the type of person to turn down a request to go out with you guys. The more people, the better. Are you going to, Iwata? Okay, let's go. A flashback. A scene from the past before they went into the death game school. It's painful. As soon as I open my eyes, light mercilessly penetrates my pupils. You startled me. Did you wake up? And at the same time, a voice that was neither familiar nor unfamiliar was unheard. What? Neither familiar nor familiar was heard. What does that mean? Kizuki, what are you doing here? Why am I here? You don't remember? As soon as the class trial was over, you muttered something and then suddenly collapsed. As I thought about it, I felt a gentle sensation on my head and back. When I stood up, I could finally see where I was. The infirmary. Only then did the faint memories seem to return. Yeah, that. It wasn't very pleasant memories to recall, so I laid my upper body back onto the bed. Also, Kizuki is such a cute design. Maybe because I'm biased, because I also have the same design, all white, except I have black eyes. It looks like you're having a hard time, Miyuki. How could I not after going through that kind of tragedy yesterday? Honestly, I thought I'd wake up and it would all be a dream. Is something wrong with your body? I was also shocked when you suddenly lost consciousness, and everyone was so worried. I'm feeling fine except for a slight headache. I'm sorry if I caused you any trouble. Misaki and Justin, who carried you here, did all the hard work. As for me, I didn't do anything but wait and see when you'd wake up. I guess I'll have to thank those guys later. Well then. I carefully got out of bed. I need to eat first. I need to put something in my stomach to get my head spinning. Then should I go eat with you? You too? It is just breakfast time. I was going to wait 5 minutes and go to the diner alone if you didn't wake up, but you woke up right on time. I turned my head and looked at the clock, and the hands were pointing at 7:03 a.m. So you're saying you've been taking care of me since early this morning? Oh, fucking really? You decided to accelerate at this exact time while I'm recording? Fucking motorcycles, man. Can't get rid of them. As I said, I didn't do anything grand like nursing you. I just stayed and watched. It wasn't a big deal. And I told you, I just can't pass by when I see an injured animal. Since I did what I wanted to do, there's no need to say that. No, I owe you a debt. I will definitely repay this debt. Okay, if you think so. After saying that, Kizuki suddenly stood up. We've been talking for a long time. Let's go eat together. Let's go. Don't forget to stretch, boys. Chapter 2. I have always lived in a locked room. Daily life is just a classroom of the elite. Okay, let's go. Sharon. Oh wait, sorry. This is Danganronpa. The things that were in the diner until yesterday are all gone. Nothing is left. The boisterous crowd that used to fill the diner every morning. Is there really no one here? Has everyone holed themselves up? Even if they try to avoid it, nothing will change anyway. Eventually, you will have no choice but to come out of your room. It's a very short time to go get food in your private room, but it's also a time when you can't let your guard down. Do you understand? Your method is a complacent measure that neither provides escape nor shelter. Perhaps you're the one who's overly idealistic. Then he's dead. The situation Misaki warned about back then must be referring to this current situation. In the end, her insight was proven accurate. But since Misaki herself wasn't there, she ended up giving up at that mindset. Hey Miyuki. There she is, best girl. Kizuki arrived too. How are you both? Misaki. You guys really showed up. I'm ashamed I don't know what to say. I guess there has been a big change in the others' minds. Yeah, I told them to at least stick to the meal times when we disbanded after the class trial. Now if this condition persists, it's over. I think I need to check out all the private rooms first. Would you like to help? I won't force you if you don't want to. At first glance, Misaki seemed completely unfazed, as if nothing had happened. She might be struggling in her own way too. No, she is definitely struggling. There's no reason to refuse. I'll help you. Yeah, I agree too. Okay, thank you guys. So first, it's going to be difficult. Oh, Tomoe, did you rest well?
Hi.
Yes, I forced myself to get enough sleep. More importantly, it will be difficult to maintain the peace that Miss Misaki wants. Don't you think it's only natural, Miss Misaki? 2 precious lives have been lost. Well, hello to you too, Tomoe. At Tomoe's words, the air instantly became even colder. Although the time we spent together was short, one of the people who formed a community with us was secretly plotting an unspeakable evil. One person's efforts to overcome fear were in vain, and he became a victim. Idealism no longer holds sway. The boastful assertion that one would never yield to Mr. Monokuma has been buried with the dead. Tomoe, that's harsh. There's no way Misaki wouldn't know that. Are you here to criticize at me? A leader who has failed once? No, actually the opposite. I came to help Miss Misaki. According to Miss Misaki's words, you have failed once. Unless Miss Misaki changes her mind, I too am a little hesitant to blindly agree with you again. However, I do not disrespect Miss Misaki's will to rebuild our broken hearts and start over. I hope you can see the difference. So you don't agree with my personal beliefs, but you agree with my commitment to saving as many people as possible. It's called toleration. That is precisely right. What do you mean? It's a concept derived from French. It means understanding, endure, and respect, even when you disagree with the thoughts, actions, or religion of others. I do not agree with your opinion, however, if you are persecuted because of that opinion, I will fight to the end for your freedom of speech. Isn't that a quote that deserves respect beyond time and space? Although it is an environment where it is easy to lose sight of the human heart, I will still do my best to uphold these noble values. I hope that Miss Misaki will also respond in kind. Okay, thanks for offering to help. Well, first of all, let's start with the private rooms. Knowing there are 4 of us gathered together, I'm sure there's someone who'll cooperate. Yeah, okay, let's go quickly. Just a moment, there's something I want to check before we go. Something to check? Where? Instead of answering, I walked towards the kitchen and opened the door. What is it? What you checking out, bub? Then I rummaged through the cupboards and drawers, putting my hand in wherever I could see a gap. What is it, Miyuki? What are you looking for? Found it. I looked at the envelope caught in my hand in a secluded corner of the cupboard, a corner that neither my hand nor my eyes could easily reach. Flower. Yeah, it really was here after all. If it was this far back in the corner, I'd have to assume someone intentionally hid it. And let's ask, who would do something like that? It must have been no one else but Fukuoka. She clearly told us that no matter how hard she looked, there was no flower. I also deduced that Fukuoka lied to prevent you from heading to the kitchen. But looking at this, it seems like even before that, they were aware that someone would ask them to make bread. That gets me goosebumps. So then I wonder, why did they need to hide it? It would have been enough to just get rid of it without anyone noticing. There is something I want to point out about that. Mr. Monokuma, he said that all ingredients will be restocked, didn't he? Even if she throws away the flour, it will be replenished without anyone noticing. Moreover, as was mentioned in the trial, Fukuoka was quite concerned about what other people thought. If even one person caught her carrying flour, her lies wouldn't have worked, so she couldn't have taken it to her private room and hidden it. I see. Yeah, I remember running into Fukuoka a lot in the kitchen when I was walking around the school. I guess she hid it when she got the chance. That could be the case. The atmosphere quickly became somber. How many feelings do atmospheres have? It was cold, now it's somber. Perhaps because I was reminded of that expression, that behavior, which I wanted to keep quiet about as much as possible. Looking back, rummaging through the kitchen to find flour might have been a pointless act. There's no point in revisiting the inner thoughts of someone who isn't here anyway, and who betrayed us in the worst way possible. Why did I bring back Fukuoka to life in their minds? Well, talking about dead people is pointless. Let's just focus on our work. Yeah, so you're going around to the private rooms to try to persuade them? Alright, we cannot delay any longer. Okay. Misaki smoothly covered up my mistake. Awesome. Owie, my back, it hurts. Let me just adjust. Oh, man. After leaving the diner and walking around diligently, so, what kind of long speech are you going to give again? Here we go again. If you're just going to mock people, don't even bother showing up. I care deeply about you guys. Why don't you understand my feelings? Although Mikha's crying and struggling caused a considerable delay, we were still able to gather quite a few students. Was it really effective for many people to stick together? When I counted the number of absentees, I found that there were 2 people missing. Jumanji was uncooperative from the start, so that's understandable, and Tadaira also didn't show her face. Well, that makes sense why. She's blind. Having such a secret exposed is truly devastating. In this situation, to have a physical weakness exposed must be horrifying. It was inevitable, as it was to uncover the truth about the murder, but it undoubtedly posed a great danger to Tadaira. Was there really no other way? First of all, I guess I can't avoid talking about this. While I was lost in thought, Misaki calmed the mood. 2 of our students left us yesterday. One is a victim, the other is a perpetrator. It's absolutely true that this was all my fault. I was incredibly reckless, even though I promised absolute safety. I would like to apologize to everyone. Misaki suddenly stood up and stepped back. Suddenly, she lowered her body and lay face down with her forehead on the floor. The Geza? Translation: the Geza is a Japanese practice of extreme prostration and apology. It signifies profound submission and regret. I don't think this will absolve me from my wrongdoing or soften your hearts. I just hope my sincerity gets through. You, don't say such weak things. What are we going to become if we entrust ourselves to you? Wrong, she has to feel weakness. Of course I do too. What's going on here? You spoke so well in the trial yesterday and now you're doing this again. Is it a concept or is it just a switch that gets flipped every now and then? Mr. Justin, you're right. Misaki's apology is a necessary step for both you and us. Still, it feels a bit strange to only blame Misaki. Misaki volunteered to be the leader, but that doesn't mean everyone should be pushing her around like this. It may sound harsh, but she was the first to declare that she would shoulder all the criticism and responsibility. I think the rest of the students have the freedom to criticize her. But it wasn't a murder that Misaki wanted to commit, was it? They were just trying to seize the opportunity and manipulated her. That's it. You're very supportive of Kuzu, Shinano. I guess you've become quite close. It's not a matter of being close or not. There's the effort Misaki made for us. So you're saying Misaki shouldn't be criticized for? I'm not saying don't criticize. The atmosphere is a bit off right now, so I'm worried it might get overheated. That's what I'm saying. Shinano's voice gradually becomes smaller and smaller until it was no longer audible. Except for Shinano, no one tried to defend Misaki. Of course, her mistakes contributed to the outcome, but is it right to hold her entirely responsible? The introduction is long. Isn't this what you're ultimately trying to say? The time when Iwata was stabbed by Fukuoka's knife was exactly at 7 a.m. At that time, you were just in the middle of opening the door and coming out of the private room. As you said, right? Even though she might not have been able to prevent the stabbing, she had found Iwata after he was attacked. She might have been able to administer first aid. But you didn't think of going to see Iwata alone. In other words, since you persuaded the person who was holed up in the room to come out, shouldn't you have paid a bit more attention? Yeah, I let my guard down, thinking I accomplished something. I should never have done that. I expected Iko to pour out sharp criticism as soon as she began speaking, but surprisingly, she only pointed out the facts and didn't make any other criticism. Rather, it seems like the chaotic atmosphere in which everyone was criticizing Misaki was sorted out because of her. Oh, by any chance, may I ask what you want to do in the future? I wonder too. Ultimately, isn't that why we're gathered here? First, I'm planning to collect the weapons. This academy is littered with objects that could potentially become weapons at any moment. Monokuma doesn't seem particularly restrict any behavior as long as it follows the school rules. If we keep them together and out of reach of anyone, we can prevent danger in advance. The vast majority of the people here are elites who have never even committed violence, let alone murder, right? If we eliminate the opportunities that are easily accessible, it might not be completely ineffective. Individual actions will also be restricted, and I will also have to patrol, especially during nighttime hours. Hasn't Justin already been doing patrols? Are you trying to benchmark it or something? It would be difficult for one person to thoroughly cover the entire school. Just adding one more person would be a huge help. Doesn't matter. If you don't mind, that's fine. If you have any further requests or think my thoughts are short-sighted, please let me know. You seem to be feeling a bit uneasy. You must have been thinking a lot in one night. I think it's an effective strategy to prevent murder, but... Still, murder, can it be prevented? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, it was bound to happen. It was only a matter of time. It might be fortunate that it only went this far. Was it enough that it stopped there? The fact that a murder took place, that a noble life has withered away, is itself the worst outcome, isn't it? What on earth are you speaking, Miss Kana? Agreed. Thankful for a murder? You crazy? Hey Kana, I know you often say things that are a bit out of the ordinary, but don't you think that's a bit much? Well, I guess that's not entirely wrong. Monokuma is trying to force us to kill right now. How can we survive the situation without killing him? Same goes for Mr. Shitanda. No, in fact, Mr. Shitanda is even worse. Me? Even though you knew the culprit who murdered Mr. Iwata during the last trial, didn't you deceive us simply for your own benefit? Please stop this life-threatening behavior. Wow, he's mad. I've never seen him so angry before. How long are you going to continue to maintain such an insincere attitude? I'm doing my best, but why not Mr. Shitanda? How long are you going to be smiling like that? Stop, it's getting too heated right now. Shitanda, please refrain from making any comments that might offend others. We're in a situation where we need to protect every single person we can. I'm sorry, I know you're upset, but I didn't know if you were serious or not. What the hell do you mean? This is a mess. Just as the atmosphere was becoming increasingly tense, a familiar, calm dialect was heard. Hey, what were you doing wandering around here now? What else is there to do in the corner of the room? Of course, reading. So you were in the private room the whole time? Where would you think I could wander around since this early in the morning? Why did you only show your face now? I was getting bored after reading, so I listened in on what they were saying to each other, you know. But I think I heard something strange. What do you mean individual action isn't possible? It's exactly as the story goes. At first, I didn't really restrain individual actions out of respect for personal freedom, however. We can't just ignore this as long as there are more murders to come. I'm annoyed. I'm going to skip out. There should be no exceptions to the rule, especially if the reason is not good. No matter how indifferent you are to others, are you really going to let a situation like this happen where more murders could happen? I don't want to, but if you don't cooperate, I'm going to ring the doorbell every morning until I see your face. Wouldn't it be annoying if you were interrupted while reading a book? What a hassle. Have you always been like this? What? You've always been like that. Being completely absorbed in the pride of doing what you believe is right while only listening to pleasant words and not caring about others in the slightest. If I hadn't come because of curiosity, what would have happened? Even foolishness has its limits. Hey Jumanji, speak with caution. People have died. Iwanda is no longer with us. Thank you, Miyuki. I don't know if I should say this, but you seem like a better person than I thought. Yeah, he's dead. Although he was scared and stood still for a moment, Iwata eventually opened his heart and found courage for everyone. But the effort was in vain, and I never saw that side again. For some reason, a corner of my chest feels suffocated. Things will only get worse in the future, not better. Whether we like it or not, we live together, so aren't there some aspects we need to be considerate of? Granted, those two were left behind, but what about it? What? People die outside too. At least 600 of them die each year from murder. About 1 or 2 people a day without fail are sent across the Sanzu River by someone else. So how can we reduce this mortality rate to 0? Should the government install CCTV cameras on every citizen and monitor them 24 hours a day? So are you saying that Miss Misaki's decision is no different from dictatorship and therefore should not be justified? You're starting to get it, pigtails. How come no one's standing up against that? Because the government and being in this situation is really, really different when you when you think about it. I mean, there's only 16, well, minus 2 of you here, and the whole nation's like 1 billion people. I don't really understand difficult stories, but isn't this a situation where you'll die if you keep worrying about such things now? Maybe it's time to give up on what needs to be given up. I can't agree that we have to give up our freedom, and I can fully understand the resistance to sudden oppression. But above all, the most important thing is life. Nothing is more precious than the wondrous manifestation that breathes life into all things. So I'll be happy to support you in whatever you do, Misaki. If there's anything you need help with, I'll be happy to help. So please take good care of us. This guy always loves his life. Isn't he a human rights activist? Actually, I am very interested in environmental and human rights movements and continue to be actively involved in them. No way, this is real. And I would like to apologize for showing a disheveled appearance and raising my voice. I guess I wasn't feeling well given the circumstances. Why am I so agitated? It's okay, it's a confusing situation. I respect Misaki's opinion, but I think it would be better to draw a clear line between individual action and collective action. You'll see some position like this could arise now. Are you talking about how far you want to control individual behavior? The best approach would be to call everyone in every hour for a roll call. That's impossible. What are you going to do during the nighttime hours? That is true. It would be too much pressure and a lot of backlash. I would never agree to that either way. Are you going to make me huddle together in front of your private room every hour and even knock? If that's really the case, I'll just live alone. Me too. If the electronic student handbook had a messenger function or something like that, I could have just asked you to send me a simple message every hour. The plan is to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at fixed times, and then share what each person will do afterward. Afterwards, if I see someone who does something that is very different from what they have said, I ask them why. It's a good idea, but I don't think it's without flaws. Not everyone lives in such a clear plan. Well, yeah, especially when, like now, I don't have much peace of mind. I might just stay in my private room all day long. That's okay. From now on, I hope you make a rough plan and stick to it. Days we spend at the school are a far cry from our normal routine, and we need to establish a new platform. Do you understand? I see. I can't exactly say someone like me can't do it. Then this is probably the most important point. Is there anyone who would like to express opposition or abstention? As soon as he finished speaking, 2 hands went up. Well, that's not surprising. Justin and Jumanji, may I ask why? Your decision is reasonable, it works if implemented. But there is a misunderstanding. Why include me? What does that mean? You're a student at the school in the same situation. Does that mean you deserve special treatment? Yes, in some ways. Why is that? I can't be a member. Being included in a group destroys my purpose in existence. You're saying you can't belong in the group? Explain what you mean. Isn't it something like this? Kuzo, aside from her, you have been making your own efforts to prevent the murders. If you ask them to join the collective action now, it is useless. That's right, I've been trying to do it independently, like the patrol mentioned earlier. That's impossible if moving in groups. But that patrol, didn't it fail? Yeah, aren't you being a bit arrogant about something that's already not working? Well, wasn't Misaki a leader who failed once? By the same logic, wouldn't it be right to dismiss Misaki as well? A leader is essential for any group to exist, and as we discussed earlier, there are no other suitable candidates for the leadership position. She also presented a new vision along with appropriate reflection. I think it's worth giving Misaki another chance. So, can Justin's individual actions that interfere with the goal be seen as essential to the group? Yeah, is that really necessary? Strictly speaking, it does have a solid image, doesn't it? Well, it's not like it's doing any harm. It's a little scary, but if they're looking after us, why would we object? That assumes the guy is trustworthy, right? If he betrays you, there's no way out, isn't there? Just yesterday morning, we found a reason not to trust people. That girl, Fukuoka. I tried my best to forget it, but it came back to me. Never thought she'd be that kind of person, even the day before. We've been joking around. Me too, we laughed and talked during the interview. Alright, I guess it's better to come to a conclusion about Justin's problem first. First of all, I understand Justin's intentions to some extent. That's why I offered to help with the nighttime patrols. However, special treatment is dangerous in this case. Once you look at the situation, you will make a justification and be excluded one by one. Moreover, as you can see from the previous conversation, not everyone here has complete confidence in each other. You're no exception. In that situation, I think your exemption from collective action may contribute to anxiety. What do you think, Justin? How to gain credibility or trust? In a situation like this where the goal is to intentionally create suspicion, it seems difficult. At least following the majority's will seems like a way to avoid distrust, even if it doesn't gain trust. Harsh, it would suit at least. You mean you'll cooperate, right? Thank you very much. Does that mean only I look bad? I guess so. I can't believe it. Isn't this just complete I can't believe it. Isn't this just complete totalitarianism? You mean there's not a single person who opposes this? Well, maybe everyone thought this was enough. What did you say? I figured that with conditions like these, it's not bad to give up freedom. Right now, I'm starting to feel a bit more conscious about opposing to the others' opinions. Watching their endless squabbling, a sudden suspicion arose from me. Is this the first time Iko has obediently followed Misaki's words, even though she always showed that she hated her? Given the circumstances, I wonder if she's thinking that she can no longer maintain her original stance. I don't know, but anyway, I don't like it. I'm not going to play along, so you should know that. Oh dear. They need to cooperate. It's just unreasonable to do that in this situation. Is it okay to send them away, just like that? If they won't even try to accept a sufficiently logical explanation, then there's no option, is there? If you can't convince them, there's also a way to use coercion. We'll have to leave it as a last resort. I'm sorry, it's something I should pay more attention to, but I'm also worried about everyone. No, again, you don't have to apologize like that. It's not your fault, it's just that the situation is wrong. I think so as well. Miss Misaki, you have been doing your best to provide us with the best situation. So can you defend our lives for us one more time? The talking was subdued. There is no end in sight to the thorn field that is in front of us, even though we have overcome the crisis of death once. Wow, the atmosphere is really intense. Let's lighten the mood. I happen to have something in mind. What now? I've done some thinking, you know, about why murder happens. Well, of course, Monokuma motivates you. Of course there's that, but Fukuoka isn't the only one who got motivated, right? Why did Fukuoka choose to kill only? Maybe it's because they had a different desire to go out. Well, when looking at the motive, everyone seems to have a strong reaction at the time, right? But that's all we see, so we don't know far from there. What do you want to say? My opinion is this. Fukuoka underestimated the risk too much. She thought that the biggest reason was that she believed she could win the class trial? Well, yeah, she was trying to figure out what was going on with her company, so naturally she was planning to escape with her limbs intact. So on the contrary, if you don't have the confidence to break through the class trial safely, you won't commit murder, right? Shitanda, what are you? What am I trying to say? If anyone here feels like committing a murder even for a single moment, please hold back just by looking at me. Because no matter what case, mystery or trick, I will definitely put the culprit on the execution platform. A locked room with no space for a thread to pass through, a meticulous alibi trick down to the minute, down to the minute, or a pure guessing game of who the culprit is without any tricks. It doesn't matter, I don't care, I'm confident. Are you being serious? I've studied hard and solved countless problems throughout my life. You've already seen my skills, right? You're not assuming the possibility that you're going to be killed, are you? You're advertising yourself as a high-risk individual, so even if a knife were to pierce your neck right now, it wouldn't be strange. Yeah, I guess. So Kuzu, I have something to tell you too. Protect me first. If I die, I dare say this community will lose about a third of its collective intelligence. Without me, you have no confidence in finding the culprit, would you? Don't you mean you want special treatment after all? Isn't it human nature to be treated that much if you have the capacity? You shouldn't forget such basic facts just because you live a little apart from the mental world. No, but even so. Alright, that's enough. You can't ask for that, Shitanda. No matter how much you demand to be treated according to your abilities or whatever skills you possess, that doesn't become a reason to consider you more important. I'm doing this to save as many people as I can, not to play politics. That argument has the potential to undermine the community. I'll pretend I didn't hear it. Okay, I give up. Just pretend you didn't hear that. What a fierce demeanor. He had been preaching his own importance, but in an instant he changed his attitude. What the hell is he doing that for? How much of that attitude is genuine? Huh? I'm always honest. Going back to what we were talking about. Well, Miss Jumanji, but right now, I care about someone else. Who? I'm talking about Tadaira. Even if it's a matter of mindset in Miss Jumanji's case, isn't Tadaira actually bearing a great disadvantage? I'm concerned about whether it's morally right to subject her to the same system. Yeah, in the end, her story also had to be put on the chopping block. I think it cannot be helped from the very beginning. Our starting points are different, and it doesn't seem right to apply the same standards. The reason why Iwata didn't want to die was simply because he was a coward, but this is a different matter. Blind people walking around, I'm sure there's no better prey than that. You're being a bit harsh. Everyone is hinting around while being considerate, but to be the only one talking about them as prey is just rude, don't you think? To put it another way, doesn't that mean my words hit the nail on the head? In serious situations, I think it's better to be direct. Well, shouldn't we think about it and decide how to bring that issue out from the start? She might not be even thinking about coming out, so don't get ahead of yourself. How do we convince her? Wouldn't it be wise to just go to the person in question? What's the point of talking like this without the person involved? Yes, better to hear the answer directly from the person, just like with the Iwata. Since we can't all go, we'll need to narrow down the number of people. The moment Misaki puts her hand on her chin as if she's agonizing for a moment. Stop right there. I'm not even surprised. The pattern's so consistent that I'm honestly starting to get tired of it. Should I start trying a different approach? There's no satisfaction when the reactions are just lukewarm. No satisfaction at all. Yeah. Oh, as expected, the only one I can trust is Mikawa's student. This teacher might be moved. Yeah, anyway, what's your business? Yeah, that's right. You should be curious about that. The reason I've appeared before you again in person like this is to announce the opening of the new floor. A new floor? Did the second floor open? It's good that you're quick-witted. This Hope Speak Academy is designed so that every time you pass a class trial, a new world unfolds before you. If you have to live here your whole life, wouldn't it be boring without any stimulation? If I don't give them a little motivation these days, they give up easily. Tisk. Anyway, there aren't really any major changes just because the new floor is open. Be sure to follow the rules and investigate. Is there anything to delay? We should go up right now. I think it would be a good idea to form a group and explore this time too. But we haven't even seen the second floor yet. We don't even know the layouts, so it's a bit of a stretch to split up the work. Yeah, wouldn't it be better for everyone to just do whatever they want? No, that's dangerous. As I said, we don't know what the consequences of disorderly movement will be. So how about just deciding on a number of companions? Majority would be helpful. As Justin said, wouldn't it be okay to decide on a group to hang out with? If you just think of it as hanging out with friends, it'll be less stressful. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. There are 12 of us now, so 4 groups of 3 seem a bit small. How about dividing us into 6 groups of 2? I agree, just turning singular into plural can bring some benefits. Then how do we decide the teams then? Should we make it autonomously in respect of the will of the members? First, Justin, do you want to come with me? I think there will be a lot to talk about as we go along, including the patrol. Had to have private meeting someday. Accepted proposal. Wow, that's a powerful combination, physically or otherwise. Only this time it's a temporary alliance, or something along those lines. Would you like to go together? Okay. Then Yuki, do you want to come with me? Sure, why not? Okay, it's decided. I guess I have to go along with it. Mikawa, follow me. Me? You want to go with me? I thought you'd be the most obedient person to listen to me. You don't like it? Yeah, let's go together. The rest of the lineup is... Kana, are you feeling up for it? Why me? I think it will be less boring. That's rude of you to say. That is so rude of you to say. It is not good. Less boring? That's a subtle assessment. If we divide it into black and white, isn't it an insult because I'm boring? Or is it a compliment because I'm the most fun out of the 3? Fine, I'll take that as a compliment. Let's go together. Yahoo! I thought it was going to be abandoned, but I'm glad. So are we the only 2 left? I look forward to working with you, Mr. Tomoe. I look forward to working with you as well. Okay, let me breathe. Oh, my throat hurts, man. Students have formed groups, then moved in small groups to the stairs leading to the second floor. Yeah, the reason why there's dead air is because I'm trying to breathe in oxygen again. I don't know how streamers are able to keep on yapping for 5 million hours a day. Like, how do you guys do that? How do you not take the time to breathe? And how do you not have throat problems? Because my throat is getting drier and drier and drier by the second, man. I have to keep drinking water and stuff. The shutter that was blocking the stairs, it's gone. As Monokuma said, the shutters had been greatly limiting our range of movement had disappeared without a trace. I held my breath, anticipating taking a step into a world I have never seen before. Shall we go up? Okay then. Let's go. The game's playing by itself. I'm just... Oh, wait. Oh no. Still can't play. So this is the second floor. At first glance, it doesn't look much different from the first floor. So how do we move now? Should we just go wherever our legs takes us? Let's take a look around first. I'm curious to see what's there. Okay. Can I save now though? Let's see. How do I save? Isn't there like a... There you go, shift. There you go. So I'm gonna end it here because I have to prepare for work now. So this is Danganronpa Mauve, presented to you by Zephyrum. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. Follow Zephyrum for more Danganronpa related stuff and all Danganronpa. Yeah, I keep repeating myself. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.